Okay, this is Max at the ranch. Today I'm going to show you how to make some sauerkraut, some homemade sauerkraut. This is a real easy recipe. You don't need very much to do it. We were able to pick our first heads of cabbage today. This is a famosa cabbage. It has kind of that wrinkled leaf look to it. The best cabbage for making sauerkraut is one that's called Caitlin, at least in my opinion. But what you're going to need is you're going to need this. It's a crock pot type thing. It's more of a stoneware, ceramic crock pot. This is just a 1 gallon one. I'm not going to make that much sauerkraut, but you can get these in different sizes. You're going to need a lid to go on it, like that. And you're going to need one of these. They usually come with these little donuts, stone donuts. Now I put the stone donut in a Ziploc bag because I don't want to kind of contaminate my stone and have to worry about keep cleaning it. So I just put it in here to keep it clean every time. I'm going to slice. The other thing you're going to need is some kosher salt. Make sure you get kosher salt. Do not use any other salt besides kosher on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice this into thin slices. I'm going to put a layer of that inside the crock pot. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in that layer, put another layer of this, another layer of salt, keep doing that. When I get this all done, I'm just going to put on top and let it kind of push everything down. There's going to be enough moisture in here that we don't need to add any water to this. This will go on its own. After it's all put in there and I got the lid on, this needs to set someplace at least 70 degrees or more in order to let it ferment. It'll take longer to ferment if it's a cooler temperature, but the warmer the temperature, the faster it'll ferment. And it'll start to smell when it ferments. So you need to put it someplace in your house or outside that's the smell's not gonna bother you. Okay, let me show you how I cut this up really quick. So I'm going to just come in here, take some of the cabbage. I'm going to kind of cut the big stems out at the bottom. Now I do have a meat slicer, but by the time I get the meat slicer out and slice it, I can do it and clean it. I can do it just as fast with this, with my hands. Let me just show you how to do one layer. So I do that. I take this handful of this, so it looks like in there. Put a layer of that in there. I take some kosher salt. I'm just going to sprinkle some in there. Really I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but just kind of put some in there. Take some more slices. Put another layer of the cabbage in there. Now it looks kind of dry, but the salt's going to take the moisture out. You're going to have enough moisture in there by the time you get done. You're going to want this cabbage completely covered by moisture. I guess if you do this and you let it sit overnight and it doesn't look like the cabbage is covered with moisture, I guess you can add a little bit of moisture to it in order to kind of make sure that it's covered in moisture. You want everything covered in moisture, no oxygen able to get to it. If oxygen's able to get to it, what's going to happen is you're going to get some mold that's going to form on the cabbage, and you know that you don't want that. There, took my last little layer. I just take a little bit of salt like that, sprinkle it on. Okay, it's kind of a salty mess, but now I take this. That's going to sink on there. Now I'm going to let this sit overnight. See how that's sunken down in there? I'm going to let that sit overnight. If it doesn't look like the moisture is up covering this, then I'm going to add a little bit of moisture to it. Other than that, that's all you do. And I'm just going to set this for now, right now here, till I can check in the morning. And then from there, once that starts to smell, I'm going to move that out to an area of the house or the garage where it's still warm enough, but the smell's not going to bother me. And you let that sit for a few weeks, 2-4 weeks. Occasionally you can come in and just come in and take a sample of it, see if it tastes how you want it to taste. On the top here you may see a little bit of mold that forms on the top where oxygen gets, but if you keep your cabbage submerged in the salt water, it's not going to get any mold on it. Anyway, that's it for how you make the coleslaw. This is just a little batch with 1 head of cabbage, but I could have done 2, maybe even 3 heads of cabbage in that 1 gallon container. So if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Give me a call. Thanks for watching.